forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. And just wanted to share, when I think about Jesus, I really don't know how he had a heart to forgive us. Forgive them for what and all they have done to him. They spat on him, they kicked him, they beat him up, and they mocked at him. And it's so hard to, be in that humility of taking that pain. It's very hard. Sometimes even when everybody came in the beginning, it was like a honeymoon period for us. Like everything was nice. We are like, wow, everything is so cool here. The Bible is awesome. The people are good. And you come and ask me, bro, can I take your shampoo or something? I'm like, yeah, bro, take it, no problem. But now you come and ask, like, dude, no, I'm sorry, I can't give you. And in the beginning, they don't ask you and they take it. And you're like, no problem, it's okay. But now when they take it, you're offended because they're not asking you, right? How many of you agree? You are offended, right, when they don't ask you. But starting, it was you're very free to give. So, in the beginning when we come, everything is nice. But as the days goes by, the reality show up. What's in your heart, it shows up in your life. So I just wanted to talk about Jesus. As I talked about this kid, when Jesus healed everyone, he healed the blind, and he ministered to so many people, the demon possessed, and so many other people in his 3 years of ministry. But the same people, crucified him on the cross. I just want to make you guys think. If you are helping someone, the person who's next to you, or you have helped him so much, and at the end you feel like that guy betrayed you or the girl betrayed you, how do you feel? Just want you to think, guys, think, how will you feel if someone has betrayed you in your life? And it's so hard to forgive sometimes, right? So, I just want to share my little bit of my testimony, how I came to Christ, how I came to God. And my mom and dad are Christians, they are about pastor and things like that. But for them, just because they are pastors, it doesn't mean that I have to believe in Jesus Christ. So, they gave me the full freedom to believe or not to believe, or take baptism or not take baptism. So I took baptism in 2016 only. One thing that I just want to ask, how many of you guys, for first year people, there was a question in the exam which asked, how does God speak? The 4 ways, how does He speak? Through His word, through the Holy Spirit, through other people, through life experiences. Life experience, right? So for me, God spoke to me through my own life and life experience. So these are the 2 things how God brought me back to Him. And so I was with my parents, and a very rebellious guy or something like that. So I used to not listen to them because I used to get everything what I wanted. So I was being very prideful, very prideful. Yeah, I was very prideful of what they tell me to listen. And one day, I just told my parents, we got into a fight, me and my mom, and I told them I don't want to stay with you guys, I'm going. And my mom is she was also angry, so she said, okay, go. And I was like, okay, I'll go. And I just took all my stuff and I left the house. And I just don't know where to go. Just like that anger and pride. And my dad, told me, you just say sorry and we're going to get you back. The pride that, there was so much of pride in me that I didn't want to ask sorry. Why should I ask you guys? You guys should ask me. Like that. And my parents were so graceful. They said, even Shreya was there with me. He was like, bro, ask them. I was like, no, I'm not asking them. So, I just left the house, and for 5 years I was outside without the family. So, you guys know, I don't know about your past. I don't know about what you have gone through in life or something like that. There are people, who have been abused, who don't have mom, who don't have dad, who don't have brother or sister, or anyone, or you may have been offended by someone. And in your childhood, it's deep within your heart, and it's very hard to forgive them. So, and sometimes we think that they did wrong to us, so I have every right to hurt them back. So you may think like that, okay, this person did everything to me, so I have the rights to hurt them back. But no, it's just that God says, forgive them as I forgive you. And as I went back, and after so many years, I used to I started working by myself and things like that. And my parents were worried about me, but I never told them where I was. years I started praying to God. Like I knew God, but I was like very serious about Jesus and things like that. And I told like God, if you're like very 2 minutes prayer, like not very like long prayers, saying that God come here for 30 minutes or something. Just 2 minutes prayer, just go into the room and pray with my hand and say, God, if you're really there, like take me back to my family, and I'm gonna serve you forever. And this was my prayer actually. And for 3 years, it took 3 years to God to answer my prayer. Maybe like when I think back now, why God took me back from there, because God was trying to teach me with the where I stayed with the family. God was trying to teach me there, but I really couldn't understand how God is teaching me. So God had to literally take me out of my family to break my pride. God wanted someone who's like very humble and broken hearted. And there's two things it says like receiving and releasing forgiveness. So for example, like for Yash and me, we're standing. So I wanted to ask forgiveness to him. It takes humility for me to go and ask forgiveness. Like it takes humility. It's just not like I just go and say like I just cannot simply go and tell him that I forgive me. It takes a humility heart to a humble heart. You need to humble yourself, because the pride kills in yourself. And for him to forgive me, it takes love. He just simply cannot say I forgive you. It takes love from his heart to forgive me completely. So there's two things like receiving and what was that other one? Releasing forgiveness. So receiving is something that I receive it with love. When I ask with humility. So this love and humility always goes together. And so I was with family, and God answered my prayers after after 3 years, and I come back to my family. Actually, it's kind of like a prodigal son. Everybody calls me in my church. There's a lot of people and they call me, oh, the prodigal son, the lost guy. He was lost and I was found. And it's kind of like very funny and sarcastic, but like it's okay. It's my past. It's okay. I don't mind. So then as I come back to family, and my mom and dad say like, how are you doing and things like that, and they knew all the worst thing that I've done, because when you are under a family, you get protection, you get all the love and care that you wanted, but when you're not there, like you literally have to suffer, right? So it's very hard actually. And I told them everything what I've been through, what all the crazy things that I've done outside with my friends, and they were very upset. And so I asked them, I'm really sorry, forgive me, for all the things that I've done, and I'm gonna listen to you guys and be obedient, and I'm just gonna listen what you guys are gonna say. And for them, it's like, okay, this guy has been outside for all these years, so we need to change him. So what they did is like, they didn't keep me in the house because they knew that I was like, gone through all the things. So they sent me to Chennai to do a DTS, Discipleship Training School in YWAM, Youth with a Mission. So, as I was there, it was a fun, there was a lot of people and things like that, and it was very fun. The food was good, Monday to Fridays, non-veg. I just don't know why. So, then actually starting, like, I was not really serious about God, And so, I did all the mistake. I rebelled everything and the authority, and I started drinking and smoking there. I got caught, and they said, you're gonna fail this school, you're not gonna pass. So I was like, okay, and because my friend told me that he doesn't need a certificate. So I told him, okay, you give me yours, I'm gonna put whitener, I'm just gonna write my name, and nobody will know. So on the day of graduation, the leader asked me, what are you gonna do next? I said, I'm gonna do this. And they said, you never pass this, how are you gonna do? Did you tell your dad? I said, no. And that moment I was like freaking out. I was so scared and afraid. And when just now, like 5 months back, I was in a worst way, and my parents forgive me and they send me here to change. And now again they're gonna call him and tell that your son is gonna fail, he never changed. And how are they gonna feel? And what if my dad says, don't come back home, let's go somewhere else? Like so much of fear in my heart, and so like my dad, he calls up and I tell him like, dog, dad, like whatever the leaders say is kind of like too much, but I didn't do all that. It's kind of like I was just trying to make it a little bit less. I just drank and things like that. And I was expecting him to scold me actually. I was literally thinking that he's going to scold me back. But one thing that literally changed me was 2 words. He said, hey son, it's okay, come back home. Come back home. And as a father to you, I forgive you and we still love you. And man, these two things, the forgiveness and love, change the whole thing. Like, I saw God in my family, like, in my parents. The reflection of God's character I saw in my parents. And, like, because I saw love and forgiveness in Christ, but I didn't know how how I should receive it. But I saw in people, because everyone who's sitting here, like, every single person, everybody have a character of God. Whether you know it or you don't know it, some people are, like, forgiving, some people are encouraging, some people are comforting, some people, wherever they are very joyful. So everybody has a different character of God. You reflect God in you. So my parents were the example of love and forgiveness, and that's where I took very serious about God, and I completely gave my life to God. Like, I surrendered and I told God, like, I said to them, like, I'm sorry, and I came back and did one more school, and they forgive me and things like that. And I just want to say that there is so much of power when you release forgiveness, you know. And because I remember the first week coming to Bible college in the church, and I was like not happy, and I had something with the issue, and I had to go and tell my brother, like, brother, I'm sorry, like, will you forgive me? I know when I ask forgiveness, and when he says I forgive you, there's so much of, like, how should I say, yeah, it was actually with Prakash and I, like, there was something happened, and I went and told him, bro, I'm really sorry, will you forgive me? Like, he was actually angry with me, but the moment I asked him, will you forgive me? Like, he just couldn't take it. Like, he couldn't, like, control himself, saying that, like, bro, it's okay, just hug me so tight. Like, there's so much of power in releasing forgiveness and asking forgiveness. And so I just want to, like, share to you guys, like, there's so many things that have happened in life or in past or whatever it is, but you may be, offended other people, or other people may have offended you. But it's always good to release forgiveness and ask forgiveness from people. And there are ways of asking forgiveness. You cannot just simply go and say, like, you do something and then say, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's not the way. You go back and tell them, dude, like, I was wrong in this place. I'm really sorry, and will you forgive me? That's the way of asking, like, will you forgive me? You're giving them a choice, and they are going to forgive you, because, see, when Christ died on the cross, He forgave us. So the same forgiveness we need to show to others. Because sometimes we think, okay, Christ's forgiveness is only for me, but not for you. It's only I deserve it, but you don't deserve it. But nobody deserves it, right? It's all because of Christ on the cross. When He died, He gave us all, the love and forgiveness of God. That's why He died on the cross, so that we can all be forgiven, and we can be in eternal life. And yeah, that was the story. And I just wanted to say that about a few things about offenses. Offenses is like a breathing air. Like, as you guys read about the offense book which Pastor Ashish wrote, offenses is like a breathing air. It comes every day. And I just wanted to say that offense is the enemy tool. Offense is the enemy tool, but God's tool is love and forgiveness. So use always God's tool, to grow up in life. And God also says in John 15:7, it says, it's a commandment: love each other. Love each other. It's okay if other person is offending you, but you forgive them, because also there's a scripture which says, if your brother sins in a day 7 times and he comes back to repent, you have to forgive them. You cannot say, I will not forgive you. You cannot keep hatred in your heart. Hatred becomes, like, when you have so much of bitterness, you start hating that person, and hatred becomes to murder. So, like, let's love, everyone as a part of family. We all come together. Let's love one another. And I love, actually, the best thing I like about myself, I'm not boasting, but I like about myself is, like, I love asking forgiveness when I'm wrong. Because, one day I think pastor or someone told, as everyone came together, he said, if anybody wants to make things right, please make. And I was seeing people, and everybody just walked away. And I said, like, I just thought about myself, dude, like, this is the best time that you can go and make things right with the seniors or whatever had happened. And I went back and I searched everyone, almost 6 people, and I talked to them. I mean, it was so, because I wanted to have a good relationship with them and with God. When you don't forgive them, you already don't have a good relationship with God. But when you release forgiveness and you have a good relationship with God, you will always always have a good relationship with others. And also I want to say, no devil, no woman, for guys is woman, for girls is man. No child, no money can take us away from the call of God or the will of God, but it's me, ourself, and myself can move away from the will of God. Because when you are in ministry and when you are offended, you don't want to walk in the ministry because you want to quit and go because you're offended. But God's call and your will is in this place. So it's your responsibility to release forgiveness and to walk in His will. And it's not like Satan is not going to take out your calling or God has put in your heart. It's you yourself, your choice, your life. It's you yourself. And also there's a small sentence which says, "Forgive me, Lord, for living like I'm not yours. I forget how kind you are, your light for my foolish heart." And so sometimes we are so foolish. We know like how God is so powerful and loving, but sometimes we just forget and go out of track. So we just need to go back and ask God, like, forgive me for foolish things that I've done, but let me come back to you again. And yeah. So thank you for all listening. Hope you guys are blessed. And yeah, let's just close in prayer. Lord, we just want to thank you for this time that you've given us, Lord Jesus. Lord, we just want to pray, Lord, that as we start from today, Father God, Jesus, Lord, we just want to pray as we all come together as a family in you, Father God, Jesus. Lord, I pray that we'll be a partakers in your presence, in your reflection of yours, Lord. Lord, I just want to pray that you will give us a heart to forgive other people, oh Father God, Jesus. Lord, because your love is abundant, is unconditional, is just unending, oh Father God, Jesus. Lord, when you forgive us, oh Lord Jesus, you never thought about it. You just completely throw it from north to the west, oh Father God, Jesus. Lord, we just want to thank you for so much of grace that you had upon us, Lord Jesus. Lord, I just also want to pray that as we hear from you, Lord Jesus, Lord, I pray that we will not only to be the listeners, Lord, but God, I pray that we will be the doers, Lord. I pray that we'll put into action in whatever we